Hello, resellers. How is everybody doing today? I hope you are doing well, first and foremost. Then I hope if you are setting goals, first, I hope you're setting goals for your reselling business. And if you are, I hope you are working towards meeting them and hitting them and exceeding them. As for me, we're going to talk numbers really quickly and then we're going to go shopping. I started the year with 1,997 active listings. When I get the 20 done that I need to get done today, that will put me at 2,116, which is an increase in 6%. I'm trying to get to 3,000 active listings by the end of this year. That's my main macro goal. And I'm hopeful that with an increase in 50% in my listings that I'm carrying, my sales will increase to the tune of 20 to 25%. And I'm guessing, I don't know if that's the case or if that's going to happen. This is very unscientific, but that would push my average of around $11,000 a month in sales to maybe 13. I'd love for it to be 14 and 15, but I don't really know what it's going to look like. That's just the main goal that I'm working towards. I haven't seen the sales increase kick in just yet. I'm like 3% down from the same time last year. So that is a little bit discouraging, but I feel like the sales will kick in the months that I do really well in. And, February and March, not necessarily those months, but that's where I'm at. That's the goal I'm setting. I hope you folks are setting goals as well. So let's jump into, I think we're only going to do just one store, one of the stores that I frequent the most in my rounds when I'm sourcing. We're going to go up there and see if we can dig through anything. And that's going to be it. And then I got to get to the gym and I get these listings done. So let's go shopping. If you are like me, then you didn't previously know that Vera Bradley and Harry Potter had a collaboration, and it is a very strong one. It sells very well. This is a classic crossbody sling. The style or the design is the Forbidden Forest. This was in like new condition. I had it listed for 35. It sold, I think, in under 48 hours for 35 bucks. I could have underpriced it, but if you look at the comparables, one recently just sold same exact style, sling, crossbody color design for 75, but it also had the wallet or a wallet with it. I'm not sure if they came together in a package or if they were just listed together by the seller, but it's possible that the $35 price tag may not have been enough. I might have left some meat on the bone there, and that's okay because we're going to have a happy buyer. But I didn't know that they had such a strong collaboration. It sells both pre-owned and in new condition extremely well, and I'm glad I did the homework to look it up because with me, I tend to get really lazy with Vera Bradley, and there's a lot of it I don't look at, and I didn't even really pick that up at first glance because I saw Harry Potter. It just felt and looked brand new. I just noticed after the fact on the tags that it said Harry Potter, looked it up, did the homework and the math, and the rest is history. So there were a lot of new custom bags you can see me looking at in this area here, but there was no make. It just looked like maybe it was somebody that made those bags at home. They were really nice, but no tag, nothing that I could identify. And I left the Adidas backpack, even though it looked like it was in decent condition. But so far, just finding that crossbody sling from Vera Bradley was a good pickup. This little device that maybe I could have sold that too, but I don't. I think I'm gonna pass it and leave it behind because I'm satisfied with the one I've got so far. I left this back, and I'm second guessing myself now. These are, I think, gel crayons, and it's Jane Davenport. The styles that I have, I don't remember what they were off the top of my head, but when I was looking at it in store, I couldn't find like an exact comparable, but I still think now, after the fact, retroactively, that I may have been able to get $20 or so, even though both were in pre-owned condition. At $3, I probably should have gone or taken my time to do a little bit more of the math or the homework on it. I don't know if you'll see it in this video, but there was a Jane Davenport. It was on one of the carts that I was looking at, a makeup kit. And so I think initially maybe I thought that was makeup and I was leaving it behind. And then I looked it up after the fact and just ended up moving on. So those could have been a bolo. Look out for them if you see them in store. And then this piece, this all-clad piece, this would have been okay, I think maybe at around $25 resale value. But you can see they had it marked $19.99. It's not the all stainless steel version. It's the non-stick version. And although it was clean on the sort of inside, it is not worth $20 to me. So it's too bad because it's been a minute since I've seen some All-Clad in store. But even in the condition that it was in, I would have been pushing it, I think, at $30, where it would have been $60, $75, possibly more for a 10-inch pan that was all stainless steel. But I do love All-Clad. It's a good seller. I'm always looking for it. I did take this, you're going to see this KitchenAid bowl. Model number on it is KSM 150 because I need to grow that inventory count. This is a sure thing for me. It's a good brand. I know it will sell. I know there's demand. It's not going to be a ton of money, right? It's going to cost me $5, and I don't think I can sell it for more than 20. Like maybe I'll list it around 22 or something like that because I do see some selling in the $22 range, but more often than not, it's like between $15 and $20. So maybe I'll be on the higher end, maybe I won't, but let's get that even though it's $5. I'll take the $20, no big deal, because I know it's going to sell. It's just a matter of time. And I saw there were a lot of sort of misplaced things in the cooking area here. This is a good one too. Monat Vava Volume Hair Lifter is what they're calling this. Ladies, you're gonna have to help me out. I don't know what this stuff is, but they have this marked at 10. I'm gonna pick it up because even though I think I can only get $30 for it because I'm going to charge shipping. I did see one sell for $35. It's brand new, and because of that, I think I sell it faster than I would pre-owned. So I'm going to grab that at $10, even though it's a little bit on the higher side. And then Adidas, you got Adidas, FootJoy, and Callaway. If we're talking golf shoes, they are sort of at the top of the market, although these are Boost. And so whenever I source Boost, it always takes me much longer for whatever to sell that style, where you see the popcorn midsole. For those of you that are sort of unfamiliar with what Boost looks like, that's the best way I can kind of describe it for you. But those were a size 8. They were really clean. They didn't look like they were even worn for half a season. And so, I mean, it was like maybe a couple of rounds, if that, on the bottoms on those soles. They were in such good shape. So I'm going to grab them. As far as price goes, I don't know what we're going to list those at. I'll put comps on the screen if there are some, because it is an older style. I think back in the 2021, 2020 range, they may even be older. So, but it's just not a lot for me to go on as far as price. So we'll see what happens there. Nothing else on this cart. All these shoes were kind of generic, just nothing that I'm familiar with or that I thought had any value. Some VHS tapes sitting here that I did look up that I thought could be interesting. No value on those. The Warlock, and then this Samurai picture, Eli Wallach. So nothing doing there. And then I don't know if we go underneath or not, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing underneath on this cart as well. I think this is a cutting board. Nothing doing there. Some scarves, I think, that were just underneath, all pre-owned. And yeah, a bag with no value. We've got some Nike cleats. And that was Billabong. I think it was just too dirty. I don't sell a ton of Billabong, so I'm not terribly well-versed in that brand. But I don't see anything else here. So we're going to move over to the sporting goods section. And this is a Rock core-to-cover, indoor-only basketball. The way they market this is it's more tacky than your average basketball. If you ever get a basketball that's brand new, it's really slippery. So from a grip perspective, it's not sticky, but like right out of the gate, it's just got a better grip to it. So it's a preferred basketball. I think this is a men's size, so it's 29.5 inches. And it is probably going to sell for me around $30 to $35. There's not a lot of them on the market. And as you can see in this store, they have reduced the sporting goods section to this bucket only. So that's all we have to choose from. We'll take a look at the kids' shoe section. To me, it would be, and I'm not trying to run someone's business for them, but it would be smarter to bring the old area back, especially with spring sports coming up and the amount of donations you're probably going to get. They've replaced it and put kids' shoes here. Who knows? Maybe that stuff sells better for them, so that would make sense in that regard. But I'm looking for basketball, baseball, golf, tennis, racquetball, pickleball, all of those sports that seem to start doing well again for me in the spring. And I don't sell a ton of kids' shoes, so nothing to work with there. And I didn't see any clubs that maybe I would have missed or they were buried. But that basketball is a good one. Look for that. Core to Cover, The Rock. That's a great one. So yeah, $30 to $35 for that. And then I forget what this is going to sell for, so I'll just put the comps on the screen for you. But this is the Monkees box set. I used to love watching the Monkees when I was younger, and I forget who it. I don't know if it's Mickey Dolenz. One of them is in the one of the I think the 2017 Rob Zombie Halloween movies. He's probably acted in other things, but I recognized him as one of the like gun shop owners in that movie. For those of you that are familiar with horror and Rob Zombie, Halloween, all that stuff. I don't know if it was Mickey Dolenz or not. It's one of the original Monkees who was in that movie. But this box set was a good seller. What was the price on that? $3. I did check to make sure that all 6 or 8 discs were in and they were all in good condition. They were. So I'm going to get that listed. That was a good find. There was a lot of media that I skipped over here. This is a Beatles compilation CD here, but I think both CDs were missing in it, so I didn't really bother to look at it after that. But there was a big CD and DVD dump that I probably should have spent a little bit more time in, but I had my daughter with me this trip. You probably saw her earlier. So I had to move fast, and because of that, I didn't really look through all of these very thorough. But the Monkees, that really took me back because it had been a while since I had even thought about that show and how catchy the song was and the intro and all that stuff. Probably revealing my age at this point, but I loved that movie when I was or that show when I was younger. It was just a good wholesome show. So I didn't look up the Combat Fight Simulator. Maybe that was a bad idea, but again, just kind of winging it and counting down the minutes before it's time to get a donut or go play with the kids in the street or whatever it is my daughter wanted to do at that time. Another thing you've got to pay attention to is look for PlayStation 1 and PC games that are mixed in with the CDs. I think this is probably routine for a lot of people, but I shouldn't say I always, but more often than not, I'll pop one of them out, like a PlayStation 1 disc that's got some value. It's even happened to me on film before when I've been in store, so I've shared that with you when that does happen. But pay attention for that reason as well, because they do get mixed in. And PS1 games, they still sell. So this was interesting. I've never seen this. It's a Micro Pro Series Tupperware pot of some sort, and these are great sellers as well too. This one is brand new in the box, so maybe $50, maybe $60 for that, where they have it priced at $5.99. But this was something that came out on a fresh cart that I grabbed quickly, only because it looked unique and it wasn't your standard Tupperware piece. So I grabbed that. Good find, and it's got some really good resale value, especially because it's just brand new open box. So I'm going over this for a second time because I've got the kid here asking me 100 questions, and I'm also trying to film and look up stuff that's got value at the same time. So thanks for your patience. If I missed something, I'm not going to blame it on her, but if you see something that looked like it might have been worth something, call it out, because everybody's here to learn, so not, and myself included. Throw the Burrito. I don't think that game's got any value. There were some discs here. Sugarland, should I have looked these ones up too? Again, I'm probably just going too quick, but there was a whole lot here that you might have been smart to lot them all up, but left them behind. Nothing else that looks like it's going to work. And then just your average everyday stuff, although this like little art piece was interesting. Couldn't find a brand on it, left that. And then I don't see anything else underneath here, so we're going to end up moving over to some racks, or at least one rack here in just a second. But yeah, there's nothing else there. So I was able to pull, this is, I believe, an old navy wool, shirt jacket. It's got like you can see the buttons on there. Really, it was in great condition. You had to take a little bit of a lint brush to it. I've already photographed it. I saw one in a very similar size. This was like a 1534 or 15 and a half, 34, something along those lines, that sold for $75. So that's probably where I'm going to end up pricing this shirt at. And that was a great find, because at first glance, when I was looking it up, I really couldn't find any information on it. And so I thought maybe I should just leave it behind. And then one of those comparables using maybe a different set of keywords or a different set of numbers for a style code came up, and then I saw that sold. And I saw a bunch of other ones. So looks like $75 is what that's going to end up selling for, in almost the exact same size as the one that did sell for $75. As for the rest of this rack, can't really remember. Worthington, so many. Here's one here that Moo. I was going to look this up, but you're going to see, unfortunately, it's got some damage in the crotch area, so that's probably not going to work. I don't think that I can get that to come out, even if it was worth money. So passed on that. And then the rest of this rack, really not much to go on. So I think that's going to be it. That's all the time I've got and all the patience my young one has. So we're going to wrap it up there. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everybody that was sick is recovering. We are doing better on our end. So I feel like we've turned the page health-wise, and everybody's kind of getting better and back into the swing of things. All the kids are back in school and all that stuff. So that's it. That's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.